white car.
New out of our St. Charles County newsroom, the city of O'Fallon, Missouri is trying to decide if investing in some artificial turf would pay off in the long run.
The River City Rascals want to convert the T.R. Hughes ballpark from natural grass to turf. They say it will bring outsiders and the money they will spend into O'Fallon.
We wanted to take a closer look at the costs and who would benefit. Ray Preston is live at the ballpark in O'Fallon. Ray?
Well, this changeover could cost up to $1 million. Now, the city of O'Fallon does own the ballpark. It has natural grass, as you can see. It's been that way since it first opened in 1999. Now, the Rascals say changing over to artificial turf would mean a huge increase in the number of other events they could be bringing in here besides baseball.
The president and general manager of the Rascals says the changeover from the current natural grass would mean the stadium could be used for more events. This year, it was used 128 times. By 2020, with artificial turf, the number could be more than 200.
We can bring in concerts, we can bring in soccer, we can bring in events from outside of the state of Missouri. So it opens up a whole new opportunity for the ballpark to bring in those extra people from outside of the city.
The city is hoping that would mean outsiders would eat at its restaurants, buy at its shops, gas up at its stations. In a presentation to the city, the Rascals said that the organization would cover roughly half the cost by increasing its rent by $50,000 over a 10-year period. Next year, the team is scheduled to pay $75,000 in rent. The city is obligated by contract to consider installing artificial turf in 2017.
The last 3 years of that lease in 2020, 21, and 22 call for the Rascals lease payment to be about $150,000. If the city does not install turf by 2017, those last 3 payments would drop to $100,000 a year.
The city says there could certainly be an economic impact, but it hasn't crunched the numbers just yet.
8 of the 13 teams in the Frontier League have turf in their ballparks right now, and so to keep up with the Joneses, per se, it's important that we move forward with this.
The issue now rests with the O'Fallon City Council. If they go ahead with this, the changeover would take place next spring, and the Rascals would start their season next May, playing on artificial turf. Reporting live from O'Fallon, Missouri, Ray Preston, News 4.
Right now, police are still looking for a suspect in a shooting in North St. Louis. Police say 2 17-year-old men were walking on Eaton Lane near Calvary Cemetery when they got into an argument. That's when the suspect allegedly shot the other man in the leg and took off. That victim was taken to a hospital. So far, there is no suspect description.
Tonight, Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in an August killing. Whitney Brown and Devin Fletcher were both killed after a shooting in the 6,000 block of Schulte. Brown's 5-year-old son, you may remember, witnessed the killings, running to a nearby home for help. Just yesterday, police released this photo of a vehicle they say is connected to the crime. We spoke with Whitney's mother, Erica, after her daughter's murder.
You don't come back and cut down somebody's life. That's somebody's life. That's somebody's child. That's somebody's daughter, sister, auntie, uncle, period. You cut down somebody's life for nothing over an argument.
Crime Stoppers wants to remind you that all calls to them are anonymous. We have that number for you there at the bottom of your screen. You can also text or email them with any information.
New information tonight about a deadly bus crash in South St. Louis. We first brought you this story yesterday as it broke on News 4 at 5. Police say 18-year-old Joseph Bodel died after crawling underneath the bus and laying down in front of the left rear tire. Counselors were on hand today for the 15 students who were on the bus at the time. News 4 is still tracking a developing story out of the Metro East. It is day 4 of the East St. Louis teachers strike, and there is still no end in sight. Classes are still canceled, and students say they're anxious to get back to school. KMOV's Lauren Posen went to East St. Louis and joins us live with the Bommarito Street Fleet. Lauren, where were those students during the time they would be in class?
Well, I'll tell you that in just a second, but let me tell you how we got here. The district made arrangements with community centers in the area. Open early, stay late, all for the kids. They would teach reading, science, math, anything that would be taught in the classrooms would be taught there. But here's what we found out. Not everyone is attending. With over 6,000 students and classes canceled, you would think community centers like this one would be packed, but they're not.
Right now, because it's so early in the strike, they think that it's going to end real quick. So right now, they have not gotten out of their comfort zone and come out.
Jones says turnout is low, but this isn't the only spot with low numbers. While classes are off, food is still served at the schools.
You could probably count on one hand how many kids are coming to the high school, and even with that, they're coming to the cafeteria and walking out here.
We asked why are parents not sending their kids here.
I don't know if the parents are not do not know that the centers are open throughout the East St. Louis area in order to meet the needs of the community.
Nelson, a high school teacher, has a different take.
I believe it's in support of the strike. The kids want to get back in the classroom just as badly as the teachers. 2
students at the community center echo Nelson's words.
We don't learn as much as we do at school.
I want to learn some more and pass the 5th grade.
The district said it would update its website and any new information for parents. I did check moments before we went on air. No new updates yet, but we did put the link to that website on our website, KMOV.com. Reporting live in East St. Louis, Lauren Posen, News 4.
Lauren, thank you. We have new developments in the effort to raise the minimum wage in St. Louis. Today, a judge heard arguments over a lawsuit that would stop the pay hike. Mayor Francis Slay signed a measure back in August that would raise the wage to $11 an hour by 2018. The first phase of the hike would start next week. Today's lawsuit says the move would hurt businesses. We'll, of course, keep you posted as to what the judge decides.
Burglars hit a home in broad daylight and make off with a huge haul of guns. How detectives and the victims are trying to find the burglar who even stole the wife's wedding ring. Coming up all new on News 4 at 6.
A little warmer today, and the warming trend continues this week. However, I have an update on the timing of the cold front that takes us from highs in the 80s to highs in the 60s.
A Stan Musial mosaic unveiled at Ballpark Village, and wait until you hear what the 17-year-old artist used to make it. That's still ahead.
But first, we're talking about some tense moments on a college campus in Philadelphia. The role students on campus played in catching a gunman. Next at 5.
The News 4 St. Charles County Newsroom is brought to you by Cantor and Berger, an experienced injury law firm.
Check it out. The